Look what happens when somehow you mix colors with whites and not know how to wash. You make your shirts tight and then show this thing right here that you really don't want to show. Uh, this is awesome. Oh, is no. Today's the 12th then, because tomorrow's the 13th, because Superman Midnight Showing comes out tomorrow night. Okay, so we established it's the 12th. Anyways, today is Wednesday. It's always new comic book day on Wednesdays. So we have a whole bunch of new comic books to show you and to talk about. And then this is kind of new and kind of hilarious at the same time. So, alright, and then we got comic book news coming up with the poster of Percy Jackson, the new movie. Guys that made a producer of Raiders of the Lost Ark is now in production with making the new Assassin's Creed movie. And then an old comic book that Dark Horse started out with in the 90s called X is coming back. So, we'll get to those new stories in a bit, but let's talk about the new comic books that look pretty awesome right here. Alright, so, yes, let's start with Superman Unchained. Last week I did a report about, I told you guys about how that Jim Lee and Scott Snyder are doing this series, and I went to my local comic book store, and the guy recommended this highly because number one, it's got Jim Lee as the artist, and I love Jim Lee because the first issue of Justice League had Jim Lee as the artist, and he's amazing. And then the DC action figures right over here are based off of the Jim Lee ones as well. So I, frankly, to say I'm a fan of Jim Lee, but I can't wait to read this because it's a Superman story with other things going on around the Superman story. So hopefully I will love this issue because I'm in a Superman kick right now because of Man of Steel. Don't put that on the cards. And then we have Batman Year Zero, issue 21. And if you can feel this though, if you ever get this, it's embroidered kind of. You can feel the bat symbol inside the comic. So this one is going to start. It's going to start in the beginning again, and then I think later on it's going to bring us back to where Bruce and Batman is now. So I can't wait to read this either because there's been a lot of talks about it, and I also did a report about this one coming out. So I'm superly excited for this one as well. Guardians of the Galaxy. Where's the no? 3. And that's Raccoon. This guy, as I've been reading this so far, this guy is the coolest so far in this group. So, not to mention, spoiler, Karen Gillan is going to be the villain in the movie. That's just talk, but oh my god, Karen Gillan is a villain in this movie? Going to be amazing. Uh, and then I got this graphic novel, Deadpool, and he's time traveling through all of the literature that we were made to read in high school with Moby Dick, Time Machine. What else is there? Sherlock Holmes and Blackbeard and a whole slew of other. Oh, Frankenstein. But I want to show you something real quick. Where is it? This is Deadpool at like his greatest right here. Look at this. See this picture right here? It has almost, without the shine, it has every Marvel character either dead, decapitated, or head blown off. Look at the Spider-Man. Look at all the Spider-Man right here. Half their brain is missing. Captain America has been sliced in half by his own freaking shield. His own freaking shield. How does that happen? And then there's all the Iron Man helmets right here, all bloodied on the counter. And yeah, it's pretty hilarious. And like the Thing I guess his skeleton's been ripped out of the thing. Uh, it, yeah, it's Deadpool at its finest. That's all I gotta say. So, oh, look, way over here, way over here. Look at that. Thor's hammer has smashed him in the face. Like there's no more face at Thor. Oh man, it's pretty awesome. So, okay, so that is the comic books that I'm reading this week. So I will let you know how these are tomorrow. Oh, not to mention the 75-year anniversary of Superman. So that's pretty amazing. Yeah, so shall we get on to the news? Okay, so today, and the first story today is that the producer of the Raiders of the Lost Ark and another producer that has worked on the Ubisoft Splinter Cell games, Frank Marshall, that's the Ubisoft guy, the guy that made the Raiders of the Lost Ark. I cannot pronounce his name, so let's just go with the producer for Raiders of the Lost Ark. Them two are considered to be jumping into the Assassin's Creed movie. Now, there's no script yet. There's just a bunch of people, off and on saying, "Oh, they're going to be in this now." No, he's not going to be in this now. Kind of thing where it's like the whole kind of Superman Man of Steel thing where "Oh, he's writing this." No, he's not. "Oh, he's directing this." No, it's not. So that's just what they're saying, that these two gentlemen are considered to be joining the Assassin's Creed team to join and making the script and the movie as well. So that may be awesome. I don't know what Assassin's Creed they're going to go with. Are they going to go with the first one? Are they going to go with Ezio? Or are they going to go with the Native American one? Personally, I would go with Ezio because he was the coolest and longest running Assassin's Creed in the games. So that's just my opinion. Secondly, if you see Percy Jackson, the first one, the Lightning Thief, and it kind of had like a Harry Potter kind of vibe, but with the gods instead of wizards. If you like that, the second one is coming out. There's a poster that the first poster is up online, and I'm going to put it up here as well. The basic premise for this, as they've put out, is that Percy and his friends stumble upon the golden fleece that Jason Argon was looking for, and which has the power to save his home and camp. First of all, if this camp has been attacked before, shouldn't you have taken precautions to maybe possibly not let this happen again? But then again, you wouldn't have the second movie, Percy Jackson, the Lightning Thief, or Percy Jackson himself. Because if many of you don't know who Percy Jackson is, he is the son of Poseidon, and Poseidon is the water lord. He's basically Aquaman. Let's put it that way. Percy Jackson is Aquaman's son. Okay, but it's not really Poseidon is not really called Aquaman, but Poseidon is just Aquaman nowadays. So, if you like that movie, if you've seen the first movie, go. If you haven't seen the movie Lightning Thief, Percy Jackson, the Lightning Thief, go see it before you see this movie. There are books. Maybe you should read the books before you go see the movies. That's just my opinion. Do whatever you like. I don't care. Then lastly, for in the 1990s, that was not that not that long ago still, but in the 90s there was a Dark Horse comic book that I was given like 10 issues of for free because they didn't think that this hero would sell very well. I read them and I was like, I wasn't really into that kind of stuff back then, but I have them now and I've read them and I'm like, oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. Dark Horse is X. It's called X because it's a guy where has a straight X across his face. He basically was kind of like a Batman-ish, Spawn-ish kind of dude, where he would just enjoy his not enjoy and how do I say this? He made his own rules and he cracked skulls in order to get justice, basically. So he's a vigilante with an X across his face, and he uses guns, and he has like a tattered red cape. So he's not the normal. This was back in the '90s where everything was edgy and wasn't so cookie cutter and all this stuff. But now they're bringing it back with a new writer and a new artist. So be on the lookout for the new issues of X that are coming out from Dark Horse. Nowadays, it shouldn't. I don't think people will, I don't think parents will probably, well, never mind. Parents are always going to be like, listen, this is too violent for you. I don't think you should read this kind of stuff. Even today, even nowadays. But I don't think he's going to be like normally violent and bloody, just like The Walking Dead is, just like all the other comic books that are normally like that nowadays. So go and read this. Go and find it, read it, enjoy it. And yes, so that will conclude today's Coffee and Comics for the 12th of June. I hope that you have a good day and go watch The Man of Steel because I am superly excited about this movie now because I've heard great things about it. So, please go watch it. Please read more comics. Please subscribe to my channel. And I will see you later.